As yoga teachers or practitioners, we know how important the breath is, and we have a specific way of breathing called Ujjayi breathing. Our oldest documentation of incorporating this breath, using this breath, where it came from, dates back to 200 BCE in Patanjali. That's when we started using, or at least that we can see through evidence and history, Ujjayi breathing as this mechanism and way to control the nervous system and reduce anxiety, reduce stress, and create a sense of peace and calm within the body to take with us through a practice. So the vagus nerve is what we're trying to stimulate. The vagus nerve runs from the brain down the back of the throat, through the diaphragm, through the lungs, through the diaphragm, and then all the way to the gut. It is our brain gut connection and communication, the vagus nerve. So yes, we do try to slightly constrict and elongate our breathing in and out the back of the nose, in and out the nose, up and down the back of the throat. And we do this to trigger that vagus nerve and massage it with our breath for the purposes of triggering the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest state, that calm, relaxation, letting go of anxieties and stress. However, it's also the connection to the gut, the brain-gut connection. This is incredible. It's the brain-gut connection that runs through the breathing mechanisms, and we can tap into it and we can help it. And if you think about the parasympathetic nervous system, we describe that as the rest and digest. So as we are coming into this calm state, bringing that mindfulness and awareness to the breathing and the movements, triggering that relaxation, reducing those anxieties and that stress, massaging the vagus nerve in the back of the throat, tapping in to the breathing mechanisms and triggering that rest and digest. This gut-brain connection isn't just a connection between the gut and the brain. It's the fastest connection that exists between the gut and the brain. I want to share a quote by one of my friends, Monisha. She is an MD and she wrote the book, The Anatomy of Wellbeing. I've had the pleasure of taking some courses alongside Monisha with our time together in yoga medicine. She does a lot of great work in cancer research. And from her book, it's quoted, "A healthy gut leads to a healthy brain. There's a two-way communication channel between your gut and your brain via the vagus nerve. If you regularly experience brain fog, memory loss, anxiety, or fatigue, there's a good chance your gut needs some attention. That's because your gut affects the production of serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, some of your happy gut hormones, that influence both cognitive and emotional well-being. In other words, if you're continually eating processed food, your gut bacteria may negatively affect your mental headspace." They were never separate. It was never separate. So use that for your own practice, but finding a way to drop those nuggets of information in and within your classes is very impactful and just interesting. It's always fun that we can move and process information at the same time, that we're working with the brain and the body. This is being mindful.